Hi, welcome to another episode of 5 Business Rules. I'm Nicole.
And I'm Monica.
And today we are talking about what it takes to build a social media strategy.
One of our favorite topics.
It is. This is actually something we work on together quite a bit. And so we thought we'd break out and see the things that you actually need to do before you go out on social media.
And you need to do this before you start using social media. It's just like driving a car. If you get in your car and you have no idea where you're going or even like what your final destination is or what the route is to get there, Lord have mercy. You're just gonna, that's a hot mess right there. You're just going to be driving around and you're never going to know if you arrive. It's the same thing with the social media strategy. It's the same thing when it comes to almost anything in your business. You need to have an end goal so you know when you're there.
So, speaking of goals, that is your first and foremost activity. And you say, well, of course I want to be on social media. I want to sell stuff. I want to build a community. Yes, but there's actually two different things. I'll tell you, I've written 2 social media strategies in the last couple weeks. And one wanted to sell stuff. They wanted to get people to their website and go there. And so in that case, you're less worried about building up your numbers in Facebook and getting links. You just want people to click through links.
Right.
The other one, they want to build a community. They are working to publishing a book, and the publisher has said, you need your numbers up. And so in that case, sure, they want to sell, but their primary goal is to get up their numbers and get on their likes, their follows, their shares. And so those are very different goals, and they will take different actions.
Yeah, exactly. So just, you have to think about, again, end goal specific to what you need. It's going to be different for every business. And guess what? It's probably going to change. Your goal for the next year is going to morph into a new goal for the following year based on what you've already done and the success that you've built up.
So, next thing, list out your assets. What do you have to use on social media? Of course, you want to use your sparkling personality. But how do you translate that into post, right? Come up to, do you have videos? Do you have infographics? Do you have blog posts? Do you have a subscription to the Harvard Business Review that you can pull information and share, find tidbits and links and all that? Figure out what you have to work with before you go out there and get started.
And also, do you regularly take photos? Like, do you have your own photo library to pull from, which is fantastic. To have that. A lot of small business owners don't think about creating one for themselves, but if you're out and about a lot, try to start taking as many pictures as you can.
And that makes a lot of sense because our next tip is find your platform to match your audience. Now, first and foremost, that means you need to define your audience and then know your platforms. And to Monica's point about building a photo library, if you're not a photo person, you're not going to make it so well on Instagram. You can, can you get by? Sure, but you're going to have a much more successful program if you have authentic photos that are yours, your own, again, original content.
Yeah, and really think about where your audience is. Are they even on Instagram? Are they using Instagram? Are they looking for the information that you have to share on LinkedIn? Or are they looking for it on Pinterest? Or are they looking for it on Facebook? You have to go where the audience is. This is not a field of dreams thing where you build it and they will come. No, you go to where they are.
And this is not about what you like either, because to Monica's point, think about that if you're marketing to 15-year-old girls, that's going to be very different if you're marketing to 50-year-old men. They're going to be on different platforms. They're going to be different things.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, tip number 4, understand what it takes to make a social media account successful. And you're thinking, well, if I knew that, I would just go do it. But this is where we're talking about market research, competitors, all of those things, because if you know what you want to talk about, you still need to take a look around and say, okay, what are other copywriters doing? If they're talking about their services and tips, is that working, as opposed to if they're sharing stories or client stories? What is working for your audience? And again, that's going to come back to your goals.
Right. And in terms of what is working, the things that you want to look for is engagement levels. Are they getting likes or,
I looked at a page yesterday that had 72,000, and you're like, wow, what a great page. They got everything. I scrolled through the thing. Hardly any of their posts had any likes.
Oh, wow.
So
that's insane.
So they probably bought those things and then it's not working. So that's, you can say initial numbers, oh, wow, that's great, but maybe not so successful.
Yeah. Look for likes are great. Comments and shares are gold. Those are your end goal. Clicks on links. You can go into Google Analytics. You can see where your traffic is coming from. Are you pushing people to your website? Because that's the ultimate goal.
Absolutely. So last thing is time. You have to understand how much time you have to dedicate, because you can't create a social media strategy saying you're going to put a different post for Instagram and a different post for Facebook and a different post for LinkedIn all day if you have 2 hours in a month, right? You have to be realistic about what you can get done in the time, or figure out how to bring somebody in that can supplement that time.
Yes, be realistic. Don't shoot for the moon and fail and fizzle out, because
then you're just going to get disappointed and it's not going to work and you're not going to
and
do
you're
it
going to
anymore.
get angry. And you'll abandon it.
So be happy and plan. Have a good day.
Bye.